This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live in downtown Las Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Very busy 3-hour program lined up today. We'll hit the World Series multiple times. Thursday night football. Ravens, Dolphins, can't wait to watch Lamar Jackson back in action for the first time in a while. College football, NBA, best bets in soccer. Paul Charchi in weekly appearance coming up in 30 minutes, Paulie. And how this bad boy has quickly changed now, the Fall Classic. Because if you go back after that 18-inning affair just a couple of days ago, the Dodgers touched as high as a $6 favorite to win this 7-game series. And it has completely flipped on its head. Their sticks can't touch anything. They're not scoring runs whatsoever. Striking, what a story with Yes Savage. Last night striking out 12 Dodgers batters, and now they go back to Toronto. The good news is they got the hammer of God going tomorrow.
Yeah, yes.
And Yamamoto, so maybe he can flip it again back on its head. But this thing has changed in an unbelievable way now.
They got to give us Game 7 Saturday night because they'll go Glass now followed by Ohtani, and nothing better in sports than Game 7. No need to panic. You're right, because you have Yamamoto, and it's happened the last couple of years. The Cubs did it in 2016, and the Nationals did it in 2019 to be down 3-2 and win 6 and 7 on the road. But the way the offense looks right now and how bad so many players are at the plate right now, without a clue, as we talked about a little bit yesterday, but going back to when we started with the series about are they going to break out of this, or what if they break out of this with the offense? Well, it hasn't happened other than Ohtani. And like Poppy said in the postgame, if Ohtani doesn't go off, they don't do anything. I mean, to think 3 hits in 7 innings and 2 of them are swinging bunts. One of them from Hernandez. And Mookie doesn't have... I can't believe... I've never heard a comment like that in a big spot with a star player like Mookie after the game about, I don't have a clue right now, I suck and the feeling's terrible. He's 3 for 23 in the series. Pa has one automatic out. You try to shake up the lineup. That doesn't help. Bottom of the order's been bad. Will Smith catching 27 innings. In 2 days, he's got to be exhausted. Nothing's working out. And they were able to shut down and contain Ohtani, and a good decision to pitch to him as well. 23 swings and misses. That's a record, what happened. But it speaks to the incredible job by Toronto to have the guts and brains and courage to keep calling this guy up time after time after time. And they did a bad job last night trying to explain it, but to me it's easy. To what he's done. To go from started A-ball, where you're pitching in front of 327 fans, and it's 20,000 less than what was at the population of the town he was at, 20,000 less than people at Dodger Stadium. And you go 7 starts at A-ball, 7 starts at Double-A, 3 at Triple-A, 3 in the big leagues, 5 in the postseason, and this guy comes out like Sandy Koufax. Right? What a story.
And think about this, too. The Dodgers were the best scoring team in baseball at home this year, even better than the Blue Jays. 3 combined runs after that 18-inning game in games 4 and 5. 3 combined runs. That is it.
Yeah.
You take out the Red Series in the playoffs.
Right.
They're batting .224 with a slugging of .372. That's, way down, obviously, from the season numbers. They're also hitting .201 against the Blue Jays with a batting average of .200 with runners in scoring position and 0 extra base hits. Game 5, 1 at-bat with a runner in scoring position. Ohtani, Smith, Betts, Freeman, 1 for 15 AKs. And you talked about it with Betts. 3 of 23 so far. Beyond that, he has scored 1 run, 0 RBIs, and to me, it's a no-brainer. If you're Dave Roberts, you got to drop him down way in the lineup. And don't be afraid. I don't care about the resume here. We're talking about what's going on in 2025. All the All-Star appearances, the MVPs, whatever else he's accomplished. A guy like Kike Hernandez should be up in the lineup, and Mookie needs to go down.
Yeah.
You need to read the room. Betts is an automatic out, period, right now where he's batting. Move him down, move Kike up. You shook it up last night with Will Smith. Not good enough. And I would not be afraid to shake it up even more by putting Ohtani down at some point. But Betts is the weakest link on the team, Paulie. He has no confidence, and I don't know a single person watching this World Series who has any confidence in the guy either.
You're going against a team that's averaging 6 runs a game in the playoffs. So if you can't get anything going, you're drawing dead. And you're going to need an unbelievable performance Friday from Yamamoto.
They'll get that.
Can he do it again?
Yeah.
Yes, right. So you're right how things have changed from as high as a $6 favorite, and now the Blue Jays minus 240, 250 in that range, and Vlad minus $2 to win MVP. And that's right there for him. And to go back home where it's going to be rocking, but it's just, he tried to shake it up. It didn't work. He's other things he has to do. You're right. Dodger fans blaming Roberts? Absolutely. But so many of these guys struggling and going in a funk at the worst possible time of the season. These are just sick numbers, like you said, when you take out the Red Series, what's going to happen. Yep. And just have a better approach. Go up there and attack. Look for that first pitch fastball. Goes back to Game 3 when Scherzer was pitching. Tim never gave you the scouting report. He knew. And yet they're putting themselves in 0-2 holes and taking too many pitches. And then just what transpired last night. This kid's just filthy. What do you compare this to? I mean, last year the kid's in college. He starts out in A-ball. And now he's the star of the World Series.
One comparison always comes up in something like this would be Linsanity.
Okay, but
did it for a month, I mean.
Yeah.
But this guy doing it now in the postseason. Maybe K-Rod with the Angels when they first brought him up. They could go to him for 3 innings. Don't let anything happen? Okay, fine, no problem. Nobody's going to touch first base against me.
Well, I know he wasn't a heralded phenom, but it is refreshing after all, babying these guys, and you're not ready, and we're going to take your time, and we're going to wait. Look at the Orioles, right? You're going to wait. We're going to wait. We'll bring you up and take forever,
sure.
Right? And then they're just, oh, sure, go ahead. We'll pull you in a playoff game against the Yankees. We'll put you out there.
Right.
No problem. The trust in this guy and what Schneider has done in the organization to believe in him and put that kid in the spot is also a plus job.
Let me ask you this. He is 50-1 at DraftKings to win the World Series MVP. If it goes to a Game 7 and they're in a pinch in a tight game and they have to go to him, it's like a mad bum situation all over again, 2014 with the Giants. Mm-hmm. Can he pull this off?
I can't get there. Too much has to happen.
Well, if that happens.
No. People are forgetting about Barger, too. I mean, he's at like 20-1.
It's also...
He's got to have to... Kirk would have to go in the tank. Vlad would have to go in the tank.
Vlad probably can't have another hit.
Yeah, I know. There's just too many things that have to happen. I don't think 50-1 is enough.
I will say this, though. If Yamamoto is nails again tomorrow night, so in Nevada, and I talked to one longtime odds maker about this who lives here today, and he called it super antiquated, and he's spot on. Once the World Series begins in the state, sportsbooks are not allowed to repost World Series MVP numbers. If they did, Yamamoto, and I said this after I think it was Game 3, when he was 25-1, if he goes out there tomorrow and like touches a complete game, or we're talking about 8 strong, 3 hits, no runs, strikes out 9, I think he's got to be the leader going into Game 7.
I agree.
So I'm telling you, to me, I'd have to drive to Arizona. I don't think I can pull it off this week. But if this was in Nevada, I would get down on him for a little bit of pocket change anyway. He can do this. So, and by the way, what do you make about the Dodgers right now at 2-1 to win the World Series? Home field doesn't mean much.
I am very confident they will get to Scherzer early in a Game 7. Who follows him? Bassett, these other guys? Okay. And then are you more comfortable with Glasnow and Ohtani compared to Scherzer, Bassett, and all hands on deck? That's where I also would give the Dodgers the edge, though. I thought it was an outlier how he struggled, but I will back the combo of Glasnow and Ohtani in a Game 7. So I still think that the problem is, are you going to hit? And what are they going to be able to do?
Sure.
I just don't think they're going to be able to flip the switch and all of a sudden backs against the wall. Now they come out and they do something offensively. You're right. We haven't seen it since the Red Series. It hasn't been there other than the out-of-body experiences from Ohtani, which we ran down yesterday, how bad this offense has been. Most of the stuff that's occurred has been damage late in the games against bullpens.
Yep.
So, but no, they got a great team. They're not out of it. They're right there. If I'm Dave Ross, I'm in a great position, but I'm still worried.
Yep.
Because you got the hammer of God going, and you got to like the Glasnow Ohtani combination, and I don't think that this Scherzer nonsense will work, and he'll probably be out of there by the 3rd inning in Game 7.
I agree with a lot of what you just said. Now, if you go back to before the series started, we did say, and we each liked the Blue Jays to actually give the Dodgers a series here, thought they could maybe win it. If you told me that the Blue Jays were going to average 6 runs a game, I would have told you that every game is going to go over and we're going to get a high. I did not see the Blue Jays pitching shutting down the Dodgers offense, especially in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. So that has been just like super impressive out of this team.
Yeah.
But them hitting should surprise nobody. This is what they've done the entire year.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe we should have seen it coming, though, because they couldn't do much against Milwaukee, and the Philly starters shut them down, too. I don't know. But that's, a lot of people slept on this team. And they're certainly a great team, and it's the offense. You know, Ernie Clement's got a hit in 13 of the 15 playoff games.
Kid's awesome.
I mean, it's the exact opposite of the Dodgers. These guys are no names, and they're tough outs, and they're tough at bats.
That's exactly right,
And they
Paul.
make you work. And the Dodgers have the big names, and they're not doing anything.
Yep.
Like Ernie Clement's got a hit in almost every game, but Mookie's 3 for 23.
Yep. That's well said. They have that lineup in Toronto is loaded with tough outs, and right now superstar players on the Dodgers are automatic outs. That's a terrible recipe to try to come back and win this thing. Mookie's lost up there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even look at him.
Yep.
I love Mookie Betts.
Yep.
Oh, my Lord.
What are you doing with Ohtani tomorrow? You got to bet under 1.5 walks again. Especially they're giving you plus money. You got to bet under 1.5 total bases again, I think.
Yeah, maybe. How about Betts no hit is like plus 175?
Another one, yeah. Mike Palm called that yesterday. That was a good plus price. Yep.
Yeah.
Ernie Clement to get a hit. Mookie no hit. Ohtani stuff under. That's the way you rock and roll.
Yamamoto's outs prop is 18.5. If they made it 15.5, it'd be the biggest bet of the World Series for me.
Yeah.
But I still like it. It's right because he can go 7.
Oh, yeah. He's got to go
He
7.
pretty much does.
Come on with the wild pitches. We're in the World Series.
Yeah, 4
what are
of
you
them.
doing? That's high school crap what they're doing.
I know.
It's embarrassing.
They're unraveling right in front of us here. Win some, lose some is up next, and we will hit Thursday Night Football. An angle for tonight is 67% since 2012. We'll give you the details on that next here on Follow the Money.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Pauly on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Pauly, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah. Came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's Late Night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Hey everybody, Dave Ross here, VSiN by the Books. Join me and Jensen Lewis tomorrow. We're going to recap Thursday night football matchup between the Ravens and the Fighting Fish down there in Miami, and then preview a busy week in sports. As always, we're going to be joined by a stacked guest lineup. Features Warren Sharp, Nick Whalen, Lou Finicaro, Aaron Halterman, and Thomas Gable. That is a show. VSiN by the Books, Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on VSiN.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
A lot went on last night, other than the unbelievable performance by Savage. Back-to-back home runs to start. First time in World Series history. First pitch of the game, extra base hit, 50-1.
Now, who had that?
Some listener had it, sent it in. It was up in Canada had it. How about that? Think of that? Yeah. Of all things to bet. 12 strikeouts in a game, plus 375. It goes back to Will Hill and Caesars putting that up before the playoffs started. Savage 9+ Ks, 10-1. 7 Ks plus 230. 6 Ks and the Jays win plus 415. To record a win, plus 550 here at Circa. Vlad goes deep and the Jays win 8-1. Vlad home run plus 390. Schneider, first home run of the game, 18-1. To hit a home run, period, 6-1. Hernandez plus 750. Blue Jays plus 175 to win the game. Reverse run line 3-1 to win by 4+ runs, plus 730 again. Back-to-back days that cashes. And the Rockets from 3.5 to 6. 139 to 121 in Toronto. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. Mike D sent this in. It could be Tim Legler's house. Is this too much? Is this overboard with the Halloween decorations? I don't think you can go overboard. That yard is loaded with all the creatures and ghosts and goblins and the setup that they have in the front yard. That's awesome. And
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
If you're going to go nuts, go nuts.
Mm-hmm. Tim Legler from ESPN loves it and spends a ton of money every year with the costumes and the stuff in the front yard and the decorations. So why not? I don't think that's outlandish. So it's that time of year, all right? We'll be dressing up tomorrow, and I got a sample with the dogs. This is the Dirty Pautini with the dog checking in. Yeah. That's excellent. Got the olives coming out attached to the hood. We got the little
cone.
Little cone, absolutely. That looks awesome. They got the head popping out. Very good.
Dog looks super comfortable.
Yeah, I know.
Got that going for him?
I know. Take the picture and that's it, right? How about number 8? Another one. The dog is the Target shopping cart. It's another great idea.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not creative. Yes. We got a whole compilation tomorrow. It's very good. Keep sending them in with the dogs dressed up at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. That is excellent. How about this? I put it under Win Some, but it's rest in peace. Jim Irsay's memorabilia collection is going up for auction. He passed away a couple months ago. Remember, he said he was offered more than $1 billion for it?
Yeah.
Christie's is going to auction it off in March. Take a guess. Let me run down what he has. He has guitars from the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Prince, Kurt Cobain, and Clapton. He has Muhammad Ali's Rumble in the Jungle championship belt, the saddle used for Secretariat's Triple Crown run, and the Declaration of Independence. That's starters. Deep catalog, but that's an all-time catalog. You can just stop right there. But the other stuff that he has, how do you top that?
So this must have been in his trust, I'm guessing. Like when I pass away,
yeah,
open it up.
Yeah.
Get rid of all of it.
Yeah, he had
if you would like.
Yeah, he had a saying, "It's not mine. You never see a hearse pulling a U-Haul. I don't own anything. Someone else is going to own it, and someone else is going to be in here."
Fascinating.
What he said. Yeah.
Now, will people want that merch as much as he did, and value it as much as he did as well? What if somebody actually comes in and says...
A rich guy in Saudi Arabia did. He said he offered him $1 billion for it.
So what if that guy just comes there and goes, okay, stop the auction. I want the entire thing.
Yeah, shut it down.
One number would probably scoop the entire lot, right?
Yeah, I would think so. We didn't have time to put this in. You can look at me and get at me on X, at Paulie Howard with a Y. What Megan Stallion wore to the Mavs game the other day, as I tweeted, no wonder why Klay Thompson's gone under his points prop every single game. I can't believe she wore that to an NBA game, and that is unbelievable. Win some as well. Lose some. Hawks, Nets over.
Now, could we really not post it because you didn't get it to him in time, or did they say, hey, I don't know if we can post that one?
Well, I know. I couldn't believe she wore that to an NBA game.
I wouldn't even, if I was there, I wouldn't even watch the game.
I know.
I'd miss the entire thing.
She doesn't have a bra on. Hawks, Nets over, 235.5 up to 239.5. Bad beat. Trey Young played 7 minutes. We still almost got the team total. Outrageous. Suns Grizzlies over 238.5, up to 243.
Some of these scores, Paulie, in the NBA every night, they are flying to the moon, man.
They are. That Portland game was crazy.
Yeah.
One lose some. This is what the Meat Man talked about last week. Look at this guy's hair. He's a Man U fan. He won't cut it until they win 5 in a row. They're on 4. One more. Can he get there? There he is on Instagram. How about can we do this and get it done? Come on. Come on, Man U.
How does he get it to go up like that far? And look at that thing. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Could have product in it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market. They help move it. Jeff and the crew been at it since 2011 with Follow the Money since day one. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line. Free reports, alerts, and market moving insights. Had Gadsden first touchdown of the game last week. Let's see if he can do it again. Sharpplays.com. Get at him.
I got to be careful with how I word some stuff. So tonight, Thursday Night Football, Ravens in Miami against the Dolphins. Great numbers as always. Steve Makinen, VSiN.com, delivers like the mailman. We've had 33 Thursday night games since 2012 with a total of 50 or higher. They are 22-11 to the under, 67%. However, and when you have a total this high, you're going to get, obviously a combination of either good offense, bad defense. These are two of the worst defenses in the entire league. The Dolphins, Paulie, are 27th in EPA per play allowed. The Ravens are 30th. And both these teams are in the league's bottom 5 when it comes to drop back EPA per play allowed. Now, did Tua find something last week? 4 touchdowns, and they took it to Atlanta. That was on the road in the Falcons' home building. And Atlanta, we think they have a pretty good defense. I'm not talking about momentum, but
I don't know about that. I just think he was so bad before. I think it speaks to more of an Atlanta no-show. I mean, the game plan is simple. He's going to throw the short stuff, dump it off to Achane, and then get it to Waddle. I know the guru likes Waddle over 4.5 receptions. But with Waller out, Hill out, he doesn't use Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon, by the way, 6-1 to the under in his rushing yards prop. Check that out, VSiN.com. He's 18.5. I think it's all about maybe a little Washington, a little Waddle, and lean on Achane and maybe try to force a turnover. But I just think I was shocked at what happened, like most people, but I just think it was just a hideous no-show. Got to respect your opponent. Awful job by Atlanta. You put pressure on this guy, he has issues. Not to mention he's got the visor and the dealing with the eye situation. You go back the last couple games, he had 6 interceptions. So, but good to be back at home. Interested to see how Lamar looks, and Lamar getting Flowers involved from Fort Lauderdale. I agree with his props going over. Miami struggles against tight ends. It could be an Andrews game as well.
Yep.
But I think it was an absolute fluke what happened with Bijan and not getting Robinson going on the ground and Atlanta only having 45 yards rushing. I think it's all about Henry.
Me too.
And a little bit of Lamar. Because I don't know how close he is to 100%, but I think it's all about Henry on the ground. Maybe you set it up, take some deep shots to Flowers, and maybe a little Hopkins. Hopkins is low, too, 15.5. He seems always good for at least one catch for 20 yards.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to look at that game on tape last week and say, boy, the Falcons really blew this. Like, you can gash this team on the ground from any angle that you want. And Bijan I get the fumble, never really a factor in the game, but we're not going to make that same mistake. And plus, it's Lamar's first game back. Probably not going to put, maybe I'm wrong, but like a full workload, probably not too many design runs for him tonight. I'm guessing it's a lot of Henry the entire time. I looked at doing a same-game parlay of getting nuts, like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's like 12-1 in the game tonight. I haven't bet it yet. Miami is also 62-32 ATS at home since 2014. There is something here when teams go to South Beach, and the Dolphins have been pretty good. I'll give you some primetime numbers as well from Makinen at VSiN.com. This goes for Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night games. Baltimore, 28-14 straight up. 25-16-1 ATS their last 42. And Miami, any primetime game, 13-4 under in their last 17 games. The Ravens offense, I think, is going to look the exact opposite of what the Falcons did last week.
Yep. Big difference in coaching, and you'll see it tonight.
I agree with that.
I like Tua to throw an interception. That's $1.40. Ollie Gordon rushing yards under, Flowers over yards. Waddle over receptions. I was surprised by this, too, at the website today. Achane has gone under receiving yards 7 of the 8 games. You know, the dump-off and all that stuff hasn't been there, and he's had a lot of lackluster performances as well. So that's another angle to attack it from the props. But I just think with Baltimore, everyone eats. And he gets everyone involved with this bad defense.
Yeah, you might have some, with that high of a total at 51.5 in that neighborhood, you might have some dudes tonight where their anytime touchdown numbers are 5-1 or higher. Come on, it seems like it's a weekly thing when it comes to Thursday night anyway. Paul Charchian on the program coming up next, Fantasy Football Hall of Famer. I cannot believe the report suggesting this team is listening to calls regarding a trade. We'll tell you which player coming up next.
Got a good thing coming, just wait and see. It's a good.
The NBA betting season is tipping off, and VSiN's got you covered with our brand new NBA betting guide. We've packed it with key insights and betting trends, previews of all 30 teams, and of course, our experts' season-long best bets. It's the playbook you want in your hands before the first tip. The guide is exclusive for VSiN Pro members, so don't miss out. Sign up today at VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN.
A lot to get into here for Week 9 of the National Football League, including tonight's Thursday night tilt between the Dolphins and the Ravens in Miami. We head out to the Progressive guest line. Paul Charchian joins the program now, Fantasy Football Hall of Famer. GuillotineLeagues.com is the website. Charge, good afternoon. Good to talk to you as always. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is one of those games where, again, these Thursday night games don't always look great on paper, but more often than not, we've had really good Thursday night games. And I suspect this one is going to have more intrigue to it than I think a lot of people realize.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So we'll get your take on tonight's game coming up in about 15. You're going to stick with us here for a full half an hour as you do every Thursday. Let's begin with this. Bengals defense is just hideous. Look away ugly, right? Can't stop anybody. Yeah. 500 yards to the Jets, 250 plus on the ground last week. Now here's the deal. They get the Bears this week, and everybody's thinking smash bot DeAndre Swift did not practice, right? So what are we looking at here with the Chicago backfield against this hideous defense that we talked about with the Bengals?
Well, first, I'm going to talk about Swift for just a minute because Ben Johnson seems to have cracked the code on how to best use Swift, and we've seen the usage really changed dramatically in the last month. It's more zone runs. It's longer developing reads, aided by the Bears' much improved offensive line. And that has made Swift a very reliable producer for, again, like the last month. Bengals allowing the most rushing yards to opposing runners, 132 per game. That is 13 more rushing yards than any other team. So if Swift goes, I like him plenty here. But the real angle is probably backup Kyle Monangai. Over the last 2 weeks, Monangai has vaulted to a near 50-50 split in snaps with DeAndre Swift. Now, Swift has still been getting more rushes than Monangai has, but the gap is starting to close here. And if Swift isn't healthy, they'll clearly go to Monangai, who could end up, even if Swift plays, Monangai could end up with more carries. Monangai also, by the way, has had carries from inside the 5-yard line in consecutive games. He's got some touchdown potential to him. He's a bigger backed guy, absolutely built for goal line work and better built for goal line work than Swift is, in my opinion. Also, non-number one running backs have had a ton of success against the Bengals, including Isaiah Davis last week, who put up 110 yards. So to me, the focal point of this Bears-Bengals game in terms of the running backs, it's Kyle Monangai's the play here.
Well, so what do we do from a Bengals standpoint that Flacco is 50-50 now with the AC joint?
I know, which is kind of a bummer because this is a great spot.
Yeah.
The Bears are likely, well, we know they're out 2 cornerbacks. We know Kyler Gordon is out, and these are their 2 best cornerbacks. Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson are on IR. Tyreek Stevenson's status still unknown, but they may be out. They're going to be out either 2 or 3 starting cornerbacks. So opportunity should be there. The catches, of course, Jake Browning's was so bad in his starts that you hesitate a little bit here. Jamar Chase targeted 23 and 19 times the last 2 games in these Joe Flacco starts, which is crazy. It set the all-time record. I don't know if you guys know this. Jamar Chase has set the all-time record for most targets in consecutive games at 42. Had you guys heard that?
No. Ooh. This is the first. What was the previous record?
I'm glad you asked. Previous record was 40. No chance you'll guess, I think, who it was.
I would say Brandon Marshall.
Hey! Yes, you did know. Dude, nice.
Good call.
Wow. Brandon Marshall had this crazy game in 2009 where he had 21 catches on 28 targets for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, my God.
So it was nicely done. That was really, really impressive.
I knew that he had I knew that he had a crazy game, like 28 targets, so I don't recall that part of it.
Yes. Yeah. Brandon Marshall. That was really nicely. That was his Denver days. If you're wondering which of his stops that was in the Denver era. For Flacco, obviously we hope he plays. You have the risk of him taking a sack, landing on the shoulder, game ends early. That's part of the implied danger with Flacco or picking any part of that offense. But let me highlight a sneaky play, if you don't mind, from the Bengals offense. Bears give up the highest ratio of yards and catches to slot receivers of any team in the league. And the Kyler Gordon is out. He's their slot cornerback. Their replacement is a guy named Nick McLeod. He gives up an 88% catch rate in his coverage. He's allowing a touchdown every 7 completions in his coverage. Andre Yosevich. I know, Who cares about Andrei Iosivas? He's the guy who lines up in the slot for the Bengals. That is your sneaky under the radar play if you're looking for one in this game, and obviously it'll help a lot if Joe Flacco goes.
What do we do now that Dowdle has seemingly won the job and he's going to get? Well, he should have been getting most of the carries after what he did back-to-back games. How do we attack the Carolina backfield?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked about that, and I think they handled it. I think Dave Canales handled it just right. So Rico Dowdle ended last year. Shockingly good. In December, they extended him, gave him a whole new contract, and he rolled into this year as the starter, but he has been hurt, and Hubbard just hasn't been all that good. Then Rico Dowdle wins the starting job, and over the last month, he's averaging 7 yards per carry. When Chuba Hubbard missed those 2 games, Dowdle rolled up to 400 yards and 450 yards, and when Hubbard came back, I think Dave Canales just sort of said, all right, look, we'll let the best man win. Well, the best man was Dowdle. Dave Canales told us as much this week that Dowdle's going to be the starter. And so I like the fact that they're going on merit. Rico Dowdle should be the best back. He should win that opportunity, and he has. Now, Packers coming up, and I don't love either guy for the Packers, but let me stress this for fantasy use on Hubbard. Just drop him. I know that you drafted Chuba Hubbard in like round 5, but here's the thing. He's a backup runner on the 6th worst scoring offense. You can find backup runners on the wire. There's no need to hold him. We get emotionally tied to the guys that we drafted and what we thought they were going to do. Just cut bait here. I think there are other better handcuffs to be had.
Yuck. I hate hearing that. In that same game, man, is it just Tucker Kraft, like the only guy in the passing game for Green Bay that we can trust? What do you want to do with the wide receivers?
Just Tucker Kraft. I think you drop them all. Drop them all off your roster. Remember, not only are you giving up on a befuddling situation that is you're probably going to get wrong most weeks, but also it frees up the opportunity to pick somebody else up who might do better for you. We had hoped that first-round pick Matthew Golden would emerge as the number 1 receiver for the Packers because they haven't had one since Devontae Adams, and the opportunity was there. They've been waiting for somebody to go become the alpha. Nobody's done it. And it doesn't look like it's going to be Matthew Golden. They bring back Christian Watson, first game back off a year of missed time, and he promptly leads the Packers with 4 catches and 85 yards. And further confounding matters, by this time next week, Jaden Reed might be back from his foot injury. His return timetable is basically here. You are spinning your wheels every single game trying to guess which Packer is going to be okay to start for fantasy, when nobody, and including I think many times the Packers don't know necessarily which guy is going to be serviceable, and it's usually only one guy in any given week. So let's just get out of this whole Packer wide receiver room entirely and divorce ourselves of them. Let's drop them all.
Oh, that stings to hear, but I think you're probably spot on with that. Okay, so what's going on in Jacksonville with second-year wide receiver Brian Thomas, who had a great rookie year a season ago? The team had to come out and squash reports that he's on the trading block, which I mean, seriously, they're going to maybe deal the guy already? What do you think is going on in this situation here?
And if they did deal him, what a dramatic fall from grace for Brian Thomas, who at second half of last year was awesome. He was it was a rookie of the year conversation. He was great. Brian Thomas, there was no reason to see this coming. He leads the NFL in drop passes. He has the second worst drop percentage. 18% of his passes are dropped. I mean, imagine that. 1 out of every 5 balls thrown to Brian Thomas that are accurate, catchable passes, he's dropping. Meanwhile, last time we saw the Jags, they were on bye last week. Travis Hunter emerging with all of those targets. We had not seen a lot of Travis Hunter, frustratingly so. That all changed 2 games ago. And if that's going to continue, and it should, by the way, I mean, Travis Hunter right now, I think, is a more intriguing prospect, and you have more confidence than what Brian Thomas has been able to do. Could Thomas turn it around? Well, of course, we saw it last year, but there is something weird going on here. He looks like the effort level is strangely missing. He doesn't look like he's running through his routes. There's some stuff going on with Brian Thomas that I don't think you want your fantasy team to be on the hook for as they try to figure this thing out.
Brutal fall from grace, no doubt. How about this for an angle? Because I think Hunter can kill it in the final half of the season. He is 50-1 to win Rookie of the Year. Can he steal this thing?
Wow. It's shocking because we had thought this running back class was going to be absolutely epic, and there were going to be runners here that were going to emerge and just run away with Rookie of the Year, whether it was going to be Omarion Hampton or Ashton Genty, somebody else. None of that seems to have really put itself together right now. That's a fascinating play, and that value at 50-1, really intriguing. If that usage that we saw 2 weeks ago is going to continue, he'll be in this conversation.
Yeah, I think he will too. You're exactly right. He has to continue to get that usage, and if it's there, then because of the hype coming into the season, I think he'll at least be in the conversation. We'll continue with Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian with GuillotineLeagues.com coming up next. Thursday Night Football, he has a bunch of props that he likes for tonight and also Sunday. Should we expect the Ravens offense to be firing on all cylinders with Lamar Jackson and his first game back in several weeks?
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is free for a limited time. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, time to get into the Thursday night game here. Ravens, Dolphins. Paul Charchian remains on the program here as he does every single Thursday for a solid half an hour. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. He is with GuillotineLeagues.com. All right, Charch, Lamar's first game back in quite a while here for Baltimore, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's a high total, and he's going against a really bad defense, one of the worst in the entire league. What should we all expect from Jackson tonight?
Yeah, everybody gets helped, of course. But here's the thing that he really does differently that is going to be very helpful for the Ravens. It's the downfield passing attack. Tyler Huntley, Cooper Rush was a disaster. Tyler Huntley was functional, but what Lamar does is he throws downfield. He's got the third best deep ball completion rate, and that means his receivers get a lot of help. Rashad Bateman goes from totally unusable to just mostly unusable, and Zay Flowers is the guy who really benefits here. He's the Ravens' only difference maker after the catch. Incredibly slippery. The water bug moves, makes people miss. You know, he in all those games, that month without Lamar Jackson, he only had one catch of over 19 yards, one deep catch for Zay Flowers. So getting Flowers back with Jackson is going to help him a ton. The Miami secondary looks okay on paper, but they've faced some awful receiver groups, like the Jets receivers last week, the Browns receivers the week before that. So this is, I really like Zay Flowers here. Jackson, as a standalone guy, they're going to run a lot tonight. I don't think there's a ton of volume coming for Jackson through the air, but I think he's going to make good on those passes that he does have.
Okay, I'm looking for longest reception, by the way, for Zay Flowers. I'm seeing about 24.5 or 25.5. That's a big number, but I think probably manageable here.
That's a big number. Yeah, it's manageable, but that's a pretty good line. I don't know that I'd attack that. We're going to hear some props in a minute. I like a lot better than that one.
All right. What do you think of Andrews? 29.5. He was 25.5. Miami's bad against tight ends. No?
Yeah, we're going to flip this over. Here's why. Andrews' usage is withering right now, and the guy that's going up is Isaiah Likely. Okay. Now, this is very daring. There's some speculation here. And Likely's number has got some speculation built into it. His over is 20.5 yards against Miami, but he hasn't been able to play with Lamar Jackson yet because Likely was hurt at the beginning of the season. Then Jackson was hurt, and we're finally getting them together into one game. Over the last 2 weeks, Isaiah Likely has run more routes and seen more snaps than Mark Andrews. And, this could be that the baton is being handed right now from a 30-year-old tight end to a 25-year-old tight end right before our very eyes. And Likely, if you'll remember in the playoffs last year, surging. He had a 53-yard game and a 73-yard game in the 2 playoff games with Lamar Jackson last year. Then there's Miami's tight end defense. They're giving up 64 tight end yards per game. So even if Andrews splits with Likely, they still go over the 20.5. So only one team has had a tight end top the line, hasn't had a tight end top the line of 20.5 yards. So against the Dolphins. So tight ends are going over this line. I think the baton is being handed to Isaiah Likely if you feel daring over 20.5 yards.
Well, we had Ollie Gordon get that first touchdown of the game in Buffalo. Other than that, there hasn't been much here, and we were high on him coming into the season. McDaniel doesn't like him, doesn't use him. I don't get it. He's 6-1 to his under on the year with rushing yards. It's Paul crime here. I like under 18.5.
It is.
You're making a case here, and this could be your bomb for the 4th time in the last 5 weeks. Let's hit one. Take it away.
All right, let's hit it. Anytime touchdown, Ollie Gordon, and the over 17.5 rushing yards. Last week, something very weird and unique in the NFL happened. Miami head coach Mike McDaniel said he was going to get rookie runner Ollie Gordon on the field a bunch more before last week's game. And he wasn't lying. He actually did it. Head coaches lie all the time. He actually put Ollie Gordon on the field. He posted season highs last week in snaps and rushing attempts. Now, you might be tempted to think that was garbage time use for Ollie Gordon because Miami got way ahead early, but that wasn't it. Gordon got run throughout the game last week. On the season, Ollie Gordon is the only Miami running back to get a carry inside the 3-yard line. He is that team's designated goal line runner.
Yeah.
The Ravens' run defense has allowed running back touchdowns in every game. Ravens ranked 28th in run defense EPA, 21st in run defense success rate, 27th in yards before contact. And get this, against Baltimore, non-number 1 running backs have topped Ollie Gordon's 17.5 rushing yards every single game this year. Every single one. Kyle Monangai, Blake Corum, Woody Marks, Damian Pierce, Kareem Hunt, David Montgomery, Jerome Felton, Ty Johnson, all non-number one running backs who have topped Ollie Gordon's rushing yard line tonight at 17.5.
Great breakdown.
Wow. So
That's
you want to
good
do a
job.
ladder as well? You want to do 25 plus, 30 plus, or you just want to go with that standard number and then bet him anytime touchdown as well?
I'd ladder him a little bit, but on a lot less money. And again, the anytime touchdown plus 430 feels like a really nice opportunity for Ollie Gordon.
Damn.
Excellent. Let's stay with the tight ends. I don't. This Kelsey thing doesn't make sense. Again, as I said Tuesday, he doesn't even run a route. Blown coverage. Somehow he's wide open, and he has the long catch on Monday night. What do you want to do with Kelsey props?
Well, we're going to go contrarian here. The line is 47.5 receiving yards, which is lower than I thought it would be. And he's actually been over this line in 4 straight. So this is a big contrarian angle here. Kelsey berserk on Monday night posted his best game in a year, his second highest fantasy total in 2 years. But that Monday night game was a total outlier. And one of the things I'd love to go against these nationally televised games, if you can flip the script and there's an opportunity, then I like to do that. Here's why. It's all about this Bills defense. Their tight end defense has been phenomenal. The Bills have allowed one tight end score all year. That was Jeremy Ruckert in week 1. No tight end is top 46 yards against Buffalo all year long. Travis Kelce, 47.5 receiving yards. He'd have to become the first one to top 46 yards. The average output, get this, the average output for a starting tight end against the Bills, 2 catches for 17 yards.
Wow.
That's it. And when the Bills faced Kelce last year, they schemed him out of that game. He had 2 catches for 8 yards. That's all. So, Kelce, who makes a living on middle of the field routes, Rashee Rice is eating into that some. And Rashee Rice loves to catch the ball over the middle of the field. There's some real downside to Kelce, and I'd go under the 47.5 receiving yards.
Okay, very good. So now that National Tight Ends Day is behind us, you're going to be all anti-fun here.
Yes.
Kelsey's won, but you even like, and this guy's been awesome this year, you like Hunter Henry under even more than Kelsey?
This is probably my favorite play out of everything that I'm giving you is Hunter Henry under 35.5 receiving yards. I just mentioned how good Buffalo's tight end defense is. That's nothing compared to the Falcons, which you would not believe. Hunter Henry started the season on fire. Then Stephon Diggs got healthy and Hunter Henry started getting less and less usage. Mac Hollins started making appearances. Kayshon Boutte, my guy, he's getting touchdowns. Hunter Henry's usage is getting whittled away every week. And this 35.5 line of his for receiving yards, actually above his average yardage over the past 5 weeks. But this story is really all about the Falcons tight ends and what they've done through this point of the season. Get a load of these totals. This is unbelievable. Atlanta's given up 12 catches for 105 yards to every tight end they've faced this year.
Come on.
That's it. 12 catches, 105 yards. No opposing tight end has topped 21 yards against the Falcons, and the average game for a starting tight end against Atlanta is 2 catches for 9.5 yards. For Hunter Henry to get over 35.5 receiving yards, he has to quadruple the average output of opposing tight ends against Atlanta.
I knew that they were good, but not that good. Holy smokes. And one more from the same game here in about 90 seconds. Is this going to be another flop for Bijan Robinson on Sunday?
It might be. No runner has topped 49 rushing yards against New England all year. There's in sneaky fashion, this has now turned into the best run defense in the NFL. And I know, Bijan, bad game last year, you might be like, hey, they're going to come back and use him extensively, try to make up for that. Here's some of the runners who have failed to reach half of Bijan's 65.5 yards. Devon Achane, Rico Dowdle, James Cook, Alvin Kamara, and last week, Quinshon Judkins. None of them got to half of Bijan's 65.5 yards against the Patriots. Opposing runners are running at just 3 yards a carry. This is an ugly matchup against what's turned into a great Patriots run defense.
Charch, you're the best. Happy Halloween tomorrow night. Thanks for the time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you in a week. Bye-bye.
There you go. GuillotineLeagues.com is the website. He's on X at Paul Charchian.
Put your handicapping talents to the test in the inaugural First Bet Breeders' Cup Survivor. Pick against the spread in 2 pro football games. Nail a top 3 finisher in 8 select Breeders' Cup races. And you're in the hunt for $10,000. Entries are due tomorrow. So tonight rather. So head to first.com/VSiN, first.com/VSiN to get started. Get up now. Breeders' Cup Survivor. Hurry, do it.
Such great info and analysis every week from Charch. How do you like that? He's on Ollie Gordon tonight. On him. He was your guy.
And the trend 6-1 to the under. Okay, but there's good comments from McDaniel.
Yeah.
I bet the anytime touchdown with him. I like that.
Yeah.
He's right about getting in the goal line, down by the goal line, and he's the guy.
Didn't get it last week, but he had 3 in a row before that.
Yeah.
Dave Roberts has an easy decision to make, and yet he probably won't do it. Tell you what that is next here on VSiN.